Hi all, in this video we will cover some general settings of your lecture that will help boost its value further. Some tiny tweaks that will ensure that your lecture not only looks pretty as a product on the front end to your students, but also engages them. Let's check these settings out. So we'll get inside a lecture by clicking on Edit. And once inside, we click on the Settings tab. Here you'll find some general settings as well as a toggle. For example, the title and the URL, which means that you can change the title anytime you wish to, and you can also change its default URL that is created when you are adding this lecture for the first time. Then the layout drop down right now gives you the option of keeping your lecture detail page in a sidebar or a centered format. Okay, so this is a tiny UI setting that you can change based on your preferences. Then we have these two toggles, which is user reviews and free. So user reviews lets your customers or students post shining reviews for your lecture. It is by reading these reviews that prospective students who land on this lecture will be further prompted to purchase it. You know, like shopping on a website where you read reviews by other customers on the same product, you're more likely to purchase that item. It's the same logic here that is applied to. So keep this toggle enabled if you want the students to post reviews, or you can keep it off if you don't want them to write any kind of a review. And next we have the is free toggle. Now is free toggle is a great option to create some sort of build up for your bigger, more elaborate training in the form of a preview. Say you have a great course on your GradHut school and you have created a couple of individual lectures that talk about a segment of the subject on which your bigger course is. So instead of putting a price tag on this lecture, you can consider keeping this lecture free of cost. Give your students an idea of what lies ahead and in the bigger course and sort of build an initial level of trust with them. Once they see your knowledge's worth in this free lecture and a couple more free lectures, they'll be more inclined to purchase a higher priced course. Right? Nice marketing strategy right there. So that takes care of our settings tab. Lastly, you have the status drop down, which means that you can either change it to draft mode or by default, you can keep it as published. So anytime you have added a lecture, but you want to keep working on it and not make it published just yet, you can switch the status of this lecture into draft mode just like this. All right. So after making your changes, you can just click on save and move on to the next tab, which is the more drop down menu, and it has its own dedicated 3 items here. In this video, we will cover images and SEO details. Now, do you see this beautiful banner image here? This is this lecture's cover image that can be uploaded from under images. All right, as you can see, there's a cover image option as well as a thumbnail option. This way, you can make this lecture look even prettier and more in sync with your course's topic or your lecture's topic, as opposed to a generic default image that GradHut provides. Similarly, you can upload a thumbnail image for the listing page of this lecture. The dimensions of both these images can be seen here, so you can upload the image appropriately. All right, so and this is how you upload it. You click on the upload button and our same file manager will open up where you click on the plus button and it will open the folders of your local machine, right? And then click on upload and this image will be uploaded here. And you can delete the image anytime you want. That's all there is to the images section. Moving on to the last section, which is the SEO details tab. So let's click on SEO details. Now, this doesn't show anywhere on the front end of your lecture, but it actually shows up on search engines. A great way to optimize your lecture for search engines is to put meta details about your course or about your lecture. This way, any student who searches for information under the niche that your lecture is in, sooner or later will stumble upon this lecture. So, under meta title, you put in the title tag for your lecture. Then meta keywords, all the high-ranking keywords that your lecture's content is comprised of can go here. Just make sure to separate each keyword with a comma. And lastly, the meta description, which is a 2-3 liner description of what your lecture is about, that can go here. Alright, so that is how you add more details to your lecture. These details that go just beyond the content of your lecture, you know. After all, your lecture is a product on GradHut and it should have all the necessary details that are required to make a lecture sellable online, right? So that's all from my side in this one. Thank you so much for watching this one. Bye-bye.